So let's fast forward. High school, you graduate high school. What is life looking like for you during those high school teenage years? Those are the rough years.
I tell you what, high school was very very different because I was trying to find my way through high school, trying to navigate through high school, and I thought I was ugly, unattractive, had very low self-esteem. I thought that I couldn't achieve success. I thought I was incomplete. I got teased. I got bullied.
With
People
all
talk
those
about
siblings, people still
with,
mess with you.
they still they still bullied me and because they used to talk about how big my eyes was, how big my lips was, but it really bothered me, and I had very low self-esteem.
Yeah.
But one day all of that changed because I had a conversation with my mother. And my mom told me, that's the way God created you, son. And God would never duplicate another person like you. And she said, you are unique. So I remember going to the dictionary and looking up that word unique. And it said that one of a kind. And that right there stuck to my forehead. I'm one of a kind. And when she told me that God would never duplicate another person like me, and she said, you might have kids. Your son might look like you, but he'll never be you.
I have mama. I know that's right. So, okay, so you get through high school. So when did you decide that you wanted to go to college? Was it directly after high school? What did that look like?
After high school, I graduated in 1990, and that's when I decided to take a year off. I took a year off, and then I went to Jackson State University in Jackson, Mississippi. I got down there. I was doing extremely well, and then I got sick. I got sick with Pale's palsy. I got sick with that, and it like paralyzed my right side of my face. So I had to drop out, come back home. And the doctor told me when I got back home, some people recover from it and some people don't. But he said that you need to massage your face every day, 3 times a day. And I start getting up and start massaging my face to the 3 times a day. I was doing it 6 times out of the day, just massaging my face. And eventually it had went away. And I thank God for that. And after that, I decided to go to Northern State University. I tried that out, didn't like it, came back home, and then I said, well, go to work, went to work. Then I said, okay, got to start having kids. And then I said, well, let me try Gateway Technical College. And I went to Gateway Technical College, and I needed something to build my confidence up. So I said, I'm going to take 3 credits a semester. And I did that. And once I started doing 3 credits a semester, my confidence went to another level because I was passing the courses. And then from there, I looked up, I received an associate's degree in supervisory management from Gateway Technical College in 2005. That's when I went to work for Chrysler Engine Plant. Started working at Chrysler Engine Plant. 2010, Chrysler decided to close the plant down. Now, before this ever happened with Chrysler Engine Plant, I went to church probably 6 months before we ever knew that Chrysler was going to close. I went to church. It was a bishop there from Atlanta, Georgia. They had the prayer line. You remember the prayer line. You can go up and get prayer. I decided to go up and get prayer. And when it came to me, the man said to me, you want to go back to college and receive your bachelor's degree, but you don't have the funds. But God is going to work it out where your tuition or your books will be paid for. I looked at that man and I said in my head, he must be crazy. But guess what happened? 6 months later, it happened. Chrysler shut down the
Uh-huh.
engine plant. And once they shut down the plant and moved it to Mexico, Chrysler engine plant closed down, paid for my education at Upper Iowa University, paid
Wow.
for my tuition, paid for my books. But before I decided to go to college, I had to look back at my family lineage, my mom's, my dad. I knew they grew up in Mississippi, but I
Mhm.
wanted to see if somebody laid the foundation and graduated from college. No one graduated from college. And I said, I can be the first
Wow.
to lay the foundation and graduate from college. I went to Upper Iowa University. The day I stepped foot on Upper Iowa University, I looked up in the sky and I told myself, there's only one direction that I can go, and that's up. And I looked up and I walked on in and I completed those courses and I made history in the Hunter family because I graduated on the dean list. I graduated in 2012 with a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. That's a miracle by itself.
It is. It is. And kudos to you. So okay. So now was part of, because I have my why on why I do things, right? When I really follow through, because I'll do a million things, right? But when I really find something, I have a why. What was your why that you said is nowhere but up? I can go. Like, what was your driving force making you want to be successful?
I think it had to do with looking at my mom and dad lineage, and I wanted to break through. You know, people always talk about generational curse. Well, I tell you what, that curse was broken once I received that degree in my hand. Like I said, that's my why, is because, looking at my family lineage,
Yeah.
that was my why. And I am delighted. I'm glad that I laid the foundation because as of today, I look at some of my nieces and nephews that graduated from college, have their bachelor's degree, they have their master's degree. I have one that's working on his PhD,
You set the
degree.
tone for that.
That's the way you have to do.
Yeah.
So if anybody listening to this interview, it's never too late because when I graduated college, I was 42 years old. So that's the message. It's never too late to graduate. It's never too late to chase success. It's never too late for God to bless you.
That's right. Amen. I know your mom was super excited and proud when you did that.
My mom was very, very happy that I graduated. Like I said, my mom grew up in
Yeah.
Mississippi,
So what
and
was that like for her? Like, you did something that was in that generation seemed impossible in that generation in the South. And that was a whole different world over there, down south. So
yeah,
I know she was ecstatic, like, this is a part of me that, like, I created you and you did this. So I know she had to be walking on air with that.
My mom is a totally different person from me because my mom doesn't like to tell you that I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying? She'll
Mhm.
sit back and just sit back in the chair and won't really say anything, but she would give you that smirk on her face and that little smile on her face to say, "Well done, son."
Yep, yep, that's
Well done.
what she means. She ain't gotta say it. You know what she means. So now you graduate, you have your bachelor's. So you just went to school full time. So you weren't working at this time because
No, no,
Chrysler
I
was
was not.
closed. So you
Yep.
full time, graduate. What do you do next?
Once I graduated college, 3 months later, my book came out.
So you was
so
writing a book while you were in school, or
I
you
was
did
wri- I was writing the book while I was in school. So
okay?
it's interesting. It's interesting because you're taking
Okay.
all of these courses, but then at night on the weekend, I was get up all right at 12 o'clock, and I would just write for 6 to 7 hours. I would just constantly write because talking to a mentor of mine, Dr. Dennis James Woods, great guy. And I used to always tell him, this is going to be a remarkable story because, ladies and gentlemen, everything starts with vision. If you see yourself achieving success, you will achieve that success. I saw myself graduating from college. I saw myself being an author. I saw myself being an entrepreneur. I saw myself as a public relation guy. So once that book came out, I was bombarded by the media, like Ebony Magazine, Black Enterprise. You know, all of these magazines, newspaper publications came at me, and it was like I was overwhelmed with it, but I was ready for it. And some people are not ready for success, but I was ready for success because I'm a humble person. And so once success came for me, I was ready for it. So if you look at my book, No Love, No Charity, The Success of the 19th Child, the year I graduated is the year my book came out. Now that book has been adapted into a screenplay. Also, I had signed a deal with Tail Flick Pictures. So it's going to be amazing because I'm going to come back on your platform and tell you, hey, the movie is completed, and this who is playing me, and this who is playing my mother, and here is the supporting actors and actresses that's playing my siblings.
That is amazing. Look at that. So now, okay, so you wrote the book. The book comes out as soon as you graduate. So now, what do you do? So what do you say? This isn't enough for me. I want to start my own business. So now you start your own business. What kind of business did you start, and why did you choose the industry that you chose?
I chose public relations because I know how to communicate with newspapers, magazines, publications. So that's the reason why I chose to get into PR, because I'm good at sending out a message to these publications. And I understood that I must have a attention grabber where people will come and say, wow, this is a great story. I need this man on my show. I need to write about him in my newspaper publications to give people hope. That's what my story does. It gives people hope. It inspires men and women. And it really motivates them to never give up and to always have a positive mindset. Public relation is what I do. Communication is what I do. If I didn't do it, I wouldn't be sitting here speaking with you on your platform.
Yeah. Well, that's amazing. So what are the next steps? Like, okay, we did the book, started the business. Now, is that the only business you have, or do you have multiple businesses?
Well, what I do on the side, I love to go into the inner city. I love speaking to young men and women at the Boys and Girls Club, big brothers and sisters, at risk youth. I love to talk to them about the importance of education, sharing my story of how my mom birthed 21 children, how I became the first to graduate from college. And I want them to understand that it's never too late to graduate. I want them to understand that they should not blame their environment. They should not blame their parents. They should just say to themselves, I am here now, and I'm going to do better than my mom. I'm going to do better than my dad. And I want them to use every resource that is available in the community. I want them to know, never be afraid to ask questions, because that's how smart people get ahead.
Absolutely. Closed mouths don't get fed. So they need to know to ask questions. So what's next for you?
I think what next for me is becoming one of the executive producers of the movie of the Hunter family, because that was something that was offered to me, and I had considered it, and I thought about it, and so I will be joining and becoming one of the executive producers of the Hunter family movie, because it's going to be critical for me because can nobody tell the story like me?
It's your story.
It's my story.
It's your story. And they gotta get it right. You know, so
Yep.
it's right that you participate hands-on in it. So
Yes.
yeah, that only makes sense. So we got the movie, but I feel like you're not just gonna do the movie. Like I feel like you're doing something else in the interim while you're doing the movie.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I'm going to be doing my. I'm in the process of setting up my multiple podcasts. You know, I want to
okay.
do. I want to set up my own podcast, and so that's I've been focusing on that as well. So that way, I'm able to interview some of my celebrity friends and have them on and talk. Especially my friend Vivica A. Fox. You know, she's a
Yeah.
great friend of mine because she allowed me to come on to her talk show in 2019,
Oh
and
wow.
I stay in communication with her from time to time, and we just you know, talk and stuff. And she had
But
been in
how'd you meet Vivica? Like,
well, well, Vivica had a talk show that was called Face the Truth, and
mm,
so it was the executive producer name was Dr. Phil. He was the executive producer of the show.
okay.
So I'm in Tucson, Arizona at the time, and I'm running on the treadmill, and I'm looking up at the TV, and they was talking about this new show called Face the Truth, and the executive producer is Dr. Phil. So I look and I said, I have Dr. Phil number in my cell phone. So I said, okay, what I'm gonna do when I get done, I'm gonna go home, take me a shower, and give him a call. So I gave him a call, and Terry, the executive producer, answered the phone, and I told her who I was. So she was on the conference call. Dr. Phil gets on the conference call. The other executive producer gets on the conference call, and I had told them my story, and they say, "Hey, this is what we need you to email us." So I
Mm.
said, "What's your email address?" And they gave it to me. Boom! I shot the email out, and they said, "That was quick." I said, "My friends, I have been prepared for this day."
Stay ready
So
so you don't have to get ready.
So
That's
all the information that they wanted are
mm,
already saved in the draft. It was
mm.
already there. And they was just shocked. And they knew then that I was prepared for them.
Oh, you were the real deal. So now I feel like I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole. Why do you have Dr. Phil's number in your phone? Like,
because before he started the Vivica A. Fox show,
mm,
I was in the process of going on the Dr. Phil show. You
okay.
understand?
Okay. Because I'm like, okay, we're gonna just keep going. We're gonna, yeah, okay.
So, but you know what? I have to say that they have been good to me
Mhm.
because they had gave me, not only me, but some of my siblings some help psychologically,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
with a psychologist, you understand? And so they have been a blessing to the Hunter family. Even when my mother had passed away, Tavis Malley, some of the greats saw that my mom had passed away, and they sent their love condolences out to the Hunter family. They were really supportive of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, when my mom passed away,
Wow. Now, how long ago did your mom? I'm sorry to hear that. How long ago did she?
she 3 years ago. 3 years.
Oh,
She
oh,
she she lived all the way up until she was 85 years old.
okay. Okay. And she
Hmm.
got to see all of these beautiful great grands and
Yep.
everything
Yep.
that her and your dad started. She got a chance to look to see the fruits of their labor.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes. 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 She did.
Wow. So now what is the relationships like? You know, you're doing all of this stuff, you're telling your story, which involves your family members, of course. Are they okay with you talking about your family? Did you have to get the permission from your siblings to be like, hey, I want to do this? Like, how did that whole thing look?
I tell you what, some of my siblings were upset when the book came out. Um, for the last couple of years, they had an opportunity to review it, read it, and now they embrace what I had said in the book, because I did not hold back. I wanted to be honest and straightforward with people, because people believe that when you come from a big family that you are happy, but no, you're not happy. We had struggles just like one, two parent household, three, four, five parents household. We had our struggles. Yes, some of my siblings did drugs and alcohol. We're no different than anybody else,
Yeah.
and that's something that I had emphasized, that you know they had learned from their mistakes. Everybody have to learn from their mistake. None of my siblings are not perfect. I'm not even perfect myself. So
Mhm.
I made mistakes, but I learned to get over it and move forward. I don't dwell on any of my mistakes anymore. I just move forward.
Yeah, it made you who you are. Had
Hmm.
you not have made those mistakes, you might not be doing what you're doing and have accomplished what you have accomplished. Had you not have went through stuff. I don't look at things as mistakes. They're learning lessons, right? I know what
Yes.
not to do again or how to do something different moving forward, and that made me the woman that I am today. So I embrace it, all of the what people would consider bad choices. I had fun doing it, but they might not have been the best choices. But I do not take any of that back because that's what, I had to go through. So now, is any of your family going to be involved in the movie part of it all, or just
No,
you?
it's just going to be me. That's who
Okay.
it's going to be.
Oh,
Because it's based off of my book, and it's also based off my mother's book. And the title of my mother's book is Love and Charity: The Life Story of Louise Hunter in the Love and Charity Homeless Shelter. So, like I said, my mother's book is very unique, because even though my mother birthed 21 children, but she's the first Black woman to open up the first homeless shelter in the city of Racine, Wisconsin.
your family is awesome. Like, really? Wow. So is it still going? The charity that she started, did you guys take it over?
No, no, because once everybody became adults and started having kids, um, we didn't want the shelter anymore. So the shelter um, came into existence when I was 3 months in my mother's womb. So it shut down when I was 45 years old. So I'm 53 years old right now.
Wow.
So it did a great service to the community in the city of Racine, Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Kenosha. It did a great service to a lot of homeless men and women and people that were less fortunate. You know, for Thanksgiving, I was sitting back reminiscing that I wish my mom was here, because I know if my mom was here, she would be out there giving out turkeys for Thanksgiving, and she did that every year for 45 straight years.
So maybe that's something that you can start another tradition in honor of your mom, giving
Yes.
out turkeys and stuff, for
Hmm.
Thanksgiving.
Yep. 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 Yep.
I,
Hmm.
I feel like you're gonna do that, and I just met you. I just feel like that's your personality. Like you think of something, you want to do it, and then you just go ahead and do it. And I think that you really can inspire a lot of young Black men who need to hear this, who needs to see this, because I think that a lot of young men look at the end product of a man and not understand that you might have come from humble beginnings, just like them. Right. So they too can achieve what you've achieved, So you're really a good example of what Black men can do when they put their mind to it. So just tell everybody the name of your book, where they can find you on your social media platforms and so forth.
Well, the title of my book is No Love, No Charity: The Success of the 19th Child. This book is available Barnes and Noble, Amazon.com. The author of the book is Paul Lamar Hunter. And ladies and gentlemen, please go out and get my mother's book, Love in Charity, the life story of Louise Hunter in the Love and Charity Homeless Shelter. This book right here is a hot commodity. Women, you need to go out and get this book if you want your life to change.
That's right. Now, where can they find you on your social media platforms?
You can go to my website, paullamarhunter.com, paullamarhunter.com. I am on social media under the name of Paul Lamar Hunter.
Okay, great. Well, Mr. Hunter, it has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for allowing me to interview you. I feel honored because I saw the clips of all of the other people that you've been on. So I'm like, okay. So, but thank you so much. And, you know, once the movie comes out, if you're not too big time, right? I'm going to need you to come back and talk to me and we could talk about this movie that's coming out.
Okay. Hey, thank you. And I enjoy your show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So you take care and we will speak soon.
All right.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.